Hey divas, hey gents. So I am back with a video, and baby, we are about to get into all of the things. It's been a while, but I have not done a makeup look in quite some time, and I love getting ready, doing cute looks with you guys, because at the end of the day, we get some good conversation in. If you're wondering what's the raspiness, baby girl just got over like a little upper respiratory type of virus, and though I still have some little hiccups of it, you're going to hear it. You know, I'm feeling a lot better, but you're going to hear it. So y'all know we always have a beverage of choice. Now I just got a little taste of this here Tito's left, but we're going to enjoy it and finish the bottle out. So this is what we are sipping on today. Now, not all the time do we drink in Kiki, but we're gonna drink in Kiki today. So these topics is very relevant to our culture right now. You know, we as the melanated people, and also, you know, the perspective from being a curvy girl, period. If you're wondering what's the glow is simply our girl. This is our glow at all times. If you ever wonder what the glow is, it's our girl. She's been around since the 99 and the 2000s, okay? She is the GOAT, okay? So a lot of people say, oh, what do you do for your face routine? Baby girl, she uses a good old alcohol and back it up with some Vaseline, some water, and that's it. Like, it ain't no mystery. It's stay away from all those other products. They're selling you a lie. This is pretty tasty. Let's get into it. If you see me looking down, I'm looking at my product. I'm also taking a peep at my mirror here, which is really, really tall, really, really cute. The lighting that we're using today is my ring light. And also I purchased some new little cool gadgets of such, you know, little things where you can hold your phone in or whatever. And yeah, just a little cute little vlog kit. If you ever see like little stands like this, go ahead and pick it up, because you never know where you can incorporate them in your home. And you also can use them as walking devices to keep your camera nice and steady. Yeah. We're gonna do a cute look. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be too heavy, but it's gonna be a cute look. And I also have some water, because when you're drinking, sometimes you tend to get dehydrated. What I like to do when I'm starting my brows, I like to just go in and give them a little lift. I feel like that just gets them together. Now, off camera, I did go ahead and pluck away any excess little nonsense. I'm not one for a thick brow. So if you're like, bitch, I barely see your brow, yeah, you're right. Some of these questions are more so, I'm sick of this shit type of questions. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them. So the first question is the Will and Jada saga. We're not even gonna pick a topic, but we're gonna pick just the saga within itself. I'm about sick of hearing this nonsense. Now, lately, Jada has been more open about their relationship. And as of today, there's some rumors circulating, or more so some content from Will circulating that their relationship may be really on the tail end of things. Now, here's the thing. I don't know what's going on in these people's household, but I do believe that some stuff just should have been kept to self. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Jada has been coming on camera, opening up about relationships for a while. Little things that she's been doing as far as her extracurricular activities outside of their relationship is a little annoying. Okay, you had a couple of affairs. You got away with them, sis. And in some capacity, you still have your man or had your man. Why are we still throwing these topics out here as if this is not something that could bruise the relationship or the marriage? I just think it's kind of like tacky. Like, don't tell on yourself. You know what I mean? You had a little shit going on. You ruffled a little bit of feathers or whatever. But damn, girl, what you trying to do to this man? Like, it's not even just him. What you trying to do to yourself? You got your family and your friends. You know, I'm pretty sure this is not the MO that you want to go for. I don't even know what she's going for at this point. You know, and she's talking about a lot of the Tupac stuff. Here's the thing. I get it. You miss yourself a little thug passion. You're missing that. You want something, you know, you want that old thing. You wonder, you dwell on the past. I believe that all relationships at times, the opposite, you know, both opposite ends, yeah, we do look back and say, damn, what about old boy or what about old girl or how things would have been? And I also believe that once you love a person, you kind of always love them. I don't care if you get into a marriage. I don't care if you're swept off your feet. I believe that naturally a person always tend to just think about some things, you know, some aspects of their past relationship. And I think with her, she's thinking a little too much into this shit. Like, you had something going on with a guy that was big time. Every reporter, every question that is thrown out there asking you about this dude, you do not have the answer. I just think it's stupid that you keep digging more of a hole for yourself. Or maybe she doesn't feel that way. You know, maybe she has nothing to lose in this situation. And she's also mentioning, and we keep referencing everything back to Jada. She also keeps saying all of this stuff, and Will's not saying anything. You know what I mean? Like, we keep saying, oh, she said this and she did that. Well, Will is like, you know what? I'm picking and choosing my battles. Why isn't she doing the same? I do not know. But I do know that Tupac has passed. If anything, I believe there's a friendship that you had with this man. And maybe you're holding on to that and you're confusing it with love. I believe y'all had a great friendship. You know, something that pulled you out of your comfort zone. You was visiting him in prison. You know, he said some things to you. Y'all had this loving moment. You might have been the only ride or die girl that was of the industry, of status, that actually went outside herself to say, let me do something humble and let me go see my friend or my whatever y'all were at the time. But I just feel like, you know, that happened a long time ago. Can you leave that alone? Can you stop hurting Will like that? Like, Hurt Bay, that Hurt Bay era, I think we need to clean that up. Like, Jada has owned that. We need to clean that up. So, I know a lot of people are like, oh, you know, Will probably did some shit too. He did something to get this shit going. We just don't know what. But damn, girl, you need to go ahead and drop the dime on that. And another thing, well, she needs to drop the dime on why she's doing this shit to really clear the fucking air. But she's not going to do that because I think it's something that we all can't handle, that we might do too much with, that bit of information. But also, like, and like, I'm no expert, so don't judge me. But also, why do I feel like our black men, when they get to that midlife era, 50 and over, whatever, why on earth do they always go through this? Jamie Foxx just went through a thing. Who else went through a thing? R. Kelly went through a thing. Michael Jackson went through a thing, you know, at the time. I feel like all of our black men experience these hard publicity type of incidents where it like literally tarnish all of their work that they have done in the past. So I feel like with Jada, when we saying chill, for me, what I'm saying is, come on, this man, he got all these accolades, he doing all of the things. He has not had one hiccup. Other than Aunt Viv saying that he wasn't shit to her. Listen, he didn't have not one hiccup. He has been doing his fucking thing. And you don't fuck with no man that can cry on camera so motherfucking good, okay? You don't do that. And I feel like old girl is just dragging this nigga through the mud for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, come on, let's just stop this shit so we can stop the saga of what's happening to our black men in the industry every time they hit, you know, a certain age point. And I'm pretty sure he already going through something. Like, let me act like I'm going to do the makeup. So, you know, midlife-wise, we all go through things. So I just feel like if she just chilled, that would be great. So, get into it. Let me see if I can bring the camera a little closer. Camera gets into almost my fucking pores, okay? So, do you really ever get over an ex? That's one of our questions. And I think that is a matter of how much were you disgusted with the individual to say, do you get over your ex? Because check this out. If y'all had like a traumatizing situation, you're not going to get over it in ways that you think is normal, you know, especially if you don't get some type of counseling or something like that. If you had a ex that was abusive, both verbally or physically, yeah, you're going to have to either get some counseling, or every day there's going to be a project for you to kind of walk yourself through, because any little sound or gesture from someone in the wrong way can trigger you and say, oh my God, my ex used to treat me like that. So if it was good love and, you know, maybe, you know, you just missed that person, that can be damaging as well, because you're always going to think, wow, how did we mess that up to a point where there's no return? So that's why I say, whether good or bad, you know, or even if y'all just walked away and y'all, you know, y'all concluded y'all differences, but y'all decided that y'all do not want to, you know, proceed with a relationship, then of course, yes, you're always going to be in a situation where you're like constantly saying to yourself, damn, I really wonder what that could have been. There's always going to be a wonder factor when it comes to past lovers. It just is what it is. This is part of Jada's midlife crisis. Her constantly dwelling on the what if factor. We witnessed Will. Will did a beautiful kind of turnaround with his, because he was bungee jumping, he was doing all of the things. Jada is just going through her old black book. Like, girl, bye. You are not in your 20s no more. Let that shit go. And like she said, had she had not, you know, had she had broke it off with, if she basically said if she would have married him, she said she felt like they wouldn't be together now. So she's basically just saying that, girl, I'm just sitting back and I'm just thinking about what it was like when I was a young fucking whippersnapper. That's all she is saying. And the media is fucking eating it up because they have nothing better to do. But child, please. Child, please. They'll do anything to cover some old shit. And I think just as much as that this is their situation that they should own, this is also a way of them covering that incident that Will basically put himself in when he slapped the shit out of Chris Rock. This is their way of covering it, I'm sure. The only thing is they're using the same people that started the incident to finish it. Ain't it crazy? But moving on. I think that this takes away from the quality of who Jada is. No. And I think that if she get back in her bag the way that she was, then that would be okay. I think she feels like this situation took away from her red table talks. Her red table talks was pretty cool. You know, I thought that they were cool. And I think that if she turns it around to opening up to, you know, other people being on that stage and interviewing them, instead of her sitting her own folks down, you don't see Oprah sitting her folks down. So I think that if she basically just get back in her business and mind the business of everything else, that she'll be all right. But I think if she keep continuing on the path of let me expose my family, that seems to be what's lucrative. That seems to be what the people want to see. No, the era that we are in is the healing era. Is the era where we are breaking generational curses. So no, we do not want you to expose everything, but you can tell us how to. You can tell us how to heal. You can coerce us through that, but not. We don't want to see that other shit. Because now we sitting here thinking to ourselves like, if they can't get it right, how the fuck will I ever be, you know? So that's why I say, listen, go back to the drawing board and let's do the cute shit all over again. Before all of this was a thing, we thought it was so cool to like sit and see her sitting there natural with her mother and her children. It's like, we just want to get back to that. So, the sooner the better for me. The next question is, do I believe that vlogger friends actually exist? Child, let me tell you something. I believe that friendship exists, yes, when you are in an industry that is like-minded of your friends, but there will always be either admiration or some form of jealousy if you're doing it a little bit better than the other person. And I'm just gonna put that out there. Now, I'm always the one that I overshare. When I think that there's a person that wants to tap into what I'm doing, I kind of like give them like mother helpsies type of thing. Like I feel like, oh, let me tell you the rules to the game. Let me put you D. You know what I mean? Some people actually take offense to that. They don't always love or enjoy you constantly telling them the way or the ropes. So that's one of the downfalls of having someone that's in a like-minded industry and you have a little bit of leverage on top of them, and you see them doing something that you probably tested the waters with, and you just want to throw some jabs out there. Hey, why don't you try it like this? I feel like this will elevate you a lot further. It just becomes a thing. So sometimes it's best if you do have friends in the industry to just sit back and enjoy. You know, y'all can probably kiki. And if you see me dabbing, I'm just cleaning off my brush as I go. But y'all can probably like kiki, you know, and be like, oh, y'all can compare and contrast little hiccups or little shit that y'all run into. But for the most part, just sit back and enjoy, you know. And when a competitive thing come about, just try to avoid it, you know, especially if you value the relationship. So recently I've found out some information just by chance because I wasn't looking for it, but I've seen that there's a couple of my favorite, you know, YouTubers having it out right now. And it's not like necessarily a competitive thing. I think it's just a matter of people that watch them are like making it into something. But I just feel like I'm all about sister sledge, like I said. You know, I'm all about healing. And I feel like me personally, that phase should be over for everybody, but sometimes things just happen. Now, I don't know if the beef between these two people that I do not want to mention is true or not, but I just write it off as things can only be what you allow it. So if friendship is supposed to happen, it's going to happen. And if a beef is going to fester, it's only going to fester because you're allowing it. Or you don't care. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I just feel like friendship can happen. I enjoy meeting people from other cities because I haven't tapped into my traveling era yet. I've traveled, but I haven't tapped into my adult travel era. Where it's like I'm traveling solo, I'm doing a whole bunch of stuff with my girlfriends. Like I can't wait to tap into that. I think that would be so fun. But I just feel like when I meet people, I'm genuine. Like, oh, welcome to, you know, the YouTube family. And I'm new too. I hope that we, you know, get to know each other. You seem so cool. Like, I really like different cultures. I really love hearing different accents, people trying different foods. So I'm with it. I'm just with it. But some people I've done that to, or I've reached out to, excuse me. They've been on like the status of who the fuck is this bitch? So I'm like, okay, I ain't on that type of time where I'm about to get played every time I extend, you know, just being cordial. So it just, you know, it is what it is. And don't come in my sponge. My sponge has been through the ringer. Like, ridiculous. So right now I'm just blending in what I put under my eye. This just creates a more cleaner effect. For me, I love that clean like look underneath my eyes. A lot of people always compliment, you know, how clean my eyebrows look. They always say, oh, you did you just get your eyebrows arched? And I'm like, no. This is me just doing the do. Now, when I do my upper brows, I don't line the entire brow. I just hit where I feel like it needs to be a little more subtle. And this is just me wiping off so much of that color. So this is nothing but, what do they call this stuff? This is like a concealer. This is a nude from AOA Studio. Inexpensive. Literally, I think it was $1. So I have reached out to YouTubers in the past. I have. And this is when I was so geeked on what I was doing. I believe this is when I was like at the maybe 400 point of subscribers. And I was like, oh, you know, I really want to elevate myself. I want to know how to navigate my way through influencing and stuff like that. And I've reached out to some people that I follow and that I love watching all the time. And this is just me looking for a flaw to cover. Ooh. So I was reaching out to a couple YouTubers and I was asking them some information about pretty much how to navigate myself through influencing, because in the beginning of me basically vlogging and stuff like that, I was being asked to model for different brands. And a lot of people don't know, not just that I'm a fashion designer, I've had a lot of designs stolen from me. That's why a lot of my pages are very private, because I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to protect myself, which I've learned that it's really impossible. It's just a matter of you having notations that you did it first. In some type of way, you can get copyrights and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, still do your thing. And for a while, I was just hiding away from the world for like 2 years because I was just so offended that all of my work had been stolen from like this major big time company or whatever. So I really was low key, and I only showed my clients, you know, pieces every now and again, but I wasn't producing new creations because I was so highly offended that I didn't want to risk, you know, other people just taking on, you know, taking my designs from me before I can even get myself out there. Like I was so offended. So when I reached out to a certain number of people, I got different responses. And then I'm also the type of girl that I don't care how big time you are. If you help me, I'm old school. I'm just like my great grandmother. I'm going to pay you. So even though I wasn't making a lot of money and I was such a small influencer, if I asked you a question and you helped me, I literally would pay you. Like, even if it was like $25, $50 for one question, I literally would pay you because I just believe in respect. If you're an expert, I reach out to an expert for, say, law advice. They're going to ask me for money. So if you are a person that I'm asking for information, ain't nothing wrong with me basically paying you what you deserve, if that make any sense. So that's how it started out, because I really needed information on some stuff that I knew that I was green to. And to just clarify what I'm saying, a lot of influencers was trying to get me to model for free clothing when they really could have paid me. So when I was talking to a lot of girls, they're like, it's a lot of work, you know, changing those clothes, editing the videos, making sure you look good. You know, it kind of tires you out. Before you know it, it's like a 7-hour project, if not even more. It's like a fucking shift. These people have the money to pay you, and you need to be accommodated for your time. So that's when I started to say to myself, okay, I appreciate it. So that's the extent of me making vlogger friends, is because although I admire their lifestyle, I didn't know how hard it was to do certain tasks. And I also didn't know the number in which I should have been asking for. So it's a thing. So it's not even a matter of, do you have the subscribers? If I did a try on today, I know for sure I can get anywhere from maybe 1K to maybe 10K. I have videos that have 10K views. And most of the Ks come from try-ons. I don't know what it is. They just love seeing women try on clothes and look fabulous. They love seeing what's hot and what's not. I'm pretty sure it's some big wigs sitting watching these videos like, oh, this is what women like. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just what it is. So you have to put a number on it. So that's the extent on vlogger friends for me. Like, but are they all warm and welcoming? No. Sometimes you feel like it's a competitive thing. Yes. Now, I have been shaded from a young lady before, from two young ladies, to be quite honest. Child, and when that shit happened, it's like the hood girl really wanted to come up out of me like, who are you talking to? Because I will pull up to whatever city you in and dog walk your ass. Think I won't? But I said, you know what? What am I, like, what would I be getting tight about? It's nothing for me to get tight about at the end of the day. We do not know each other, you know, and the beef is so made up and so corny that I just decided I'm not doing it. So it's up and down sides to little beefs on the internet, essentially. But, you know, because it's YouTube, because it's so vague and anybody can sit here and look up you talking on a screen and you beefing with somebody, I'd rather save that anger and that frustration and put it into something amazing than to be sitting here and spreading negative energy. I just rather do my thing. I'm not getting into a tussle on the internet because somebody don't like me today. You know what I mean? So I know what it's like to make good vlogger friends and good connections and network versus catty ass women that's just funny acting. And the industry that I would love to stay in and the niche that I want to stay in is plus size girls. And those are the ones that don't fuck with me the most. The ones that look just like my ass. So, girl, we can talk about that shit for days, but not on camera. If you're a fan of Love and Hip Hop, there's been this kind of round table where they discussed basically colorism. Now, here's the thing. Have I ever experienced colorism with curvy women like myself? The dark-skinned big girl versus the light-skinned big girl. This is the question, right? All right. I'm just sitting here trying to figure out what to put on my eyes. I think we're going to do like a smoky, like dark look. Because I think the last time I did a makeup look, I know for sure it was like a green vibe. And it was light and very airy. I want to do something dark and like a fall vibe. And mind you, these are my go-to routines. So if y'all like, oh, girl, you do that same routine. This is my same fucking routine. It works every time. So, in the past, I've worked at a few places of employment, and I will always run into these curvy, beautiful women. And number one, I immediately want to give them my business card because I make clothes for plus size women. Period. So I want to dress you. I want to get to know you. I want to see who the fuck you know. Okay, bitch. All the things. But because there may be a conflict of interest, I might just sit and watch you from afar and see how you can handle my talent. Like, you know what I mean? And just slide it in as needed. Maybe like a situation where friendliness, people adapting to others more, you know, people getting, you know, cracking jokes and stuff like that. Yeah, I get cracked on more. You know, I get those laughs more. I get that weird shit more than the light-skinned girl. I do. Like, say I used to work in a kitchen full of black men and women, which I love it. But I would get the kikis. I would get approached and disrespected more. Like, I had this one guy, and It was other plus size women there. They just wasn't dark like me. You know, they wasn't even as bold and beautiful as me. But he picked me out of a crowd, walked up to me on the workplace. I'm serving drinks, basically, because I was a waitress at the time. And he walks up and slaps my ass. When I say slap my ass, he slapped my ass like he was my nigga. He never disrespected no other plus size woman in there like that. But the brown skin one, he disrespected. You feel me? They used to comment on my clothes and my outfit, like, you can't wear certain pants, da-da-da-da. But the little light-skinned joint will always get away with it. Always shit like that. So when the situation happened with the guy, I was so traumatized and also very busy and engulfed into work. And mind you, he didn't know me. We wasn't friends. That was my first and second day working there, and he pulled that card. So I feel like they disrespect us more. I feel like they argue with us more. And they feel like they can, like, talk to us in a condescending way more, you know. And then they also treat us like, there's a such thing as being a pretty big girl. It is. A lot of women say, oh, pretty to be a big girl, that's not a thing. It's not a thing, but it's a difference when you see a girl that's not well kept and then a girl that's kept nice and keep herself up. It's a thing, you know, it's a thing. But I feel like everybody tried to combat that. Like, I had this one girl say to me, she was plus size, she was light skinned, she had good hair. That's another thing. And she was like, and when we say good hair, she had manageable hair. I believe that nappy hair is good hair. I believe that now. But at the time, I thought that what this bitch had was good hair. But this one woman, she said to me, you think you skinny. That's exactly what she said to me. And I said, wait, what? So when she had said that, I suddenly had this way, like, number one, bitch, no, I don't. Let's make that clear. And if I did or I didn't, what's it to you? What's it the fuck to you, bitch? So I started to see that there was a level that they felt like plus size women and even plus size dark skinned women with regular textured hair, you know, coming in there cute, beat face put together. You know, I feel like there was a level that they felt like that we should not surpass, you know, and I would get the shade of that, whatever that is. So yeah, I've experienced colorism from, you know, plus size women that's just like me. They feel like they should be more lit than me. So, I mean, I think you create your own amount of, you know, just popularity. And some people just feel like, oh, because I'm smaller than her, lighter than her, my hair looks different, my eyes are hazel, that I'm the prettier girl. I should be looked at. I should be sought after. And it's like, you can be if you just have that natural allure to you. But bitch, don't think that you better just because you're a shade lighter. Skin is skin, color is color. If I buy a Birkin bag that's red and you buy a Birkin bag that's fucking blue, bitch, they both Birkin bags. There's space for more than one bad bitch in the room. There's nothing wrong with it. But if I stand out, you know what I mean? What's it to you? I just might be someone else's favorite fucking color. What's it to you? So yeah, colorism does exist, even when you're in a whole nother niche. You know what I mean? So now when I see when I see a black woman, period, I love on her. Like your beauty, your energy, your style, your personality. I'm for energy. Now, in this age, me being 30 plus, I'm for energy. So if your energy is good, we're good. But if you can be fine as fuck, beautiful as hell, and your energy is disrespectful, then, oh no, I don't want nothing to do with you. Take that shit somewhere else. So this is me just creating some type of something. The next question is, does size matter as far as the pickle versus the eggplant? I had this side thought last night, and it was so funny. Like, when you can make yourself laugh, you know you funny, but that's so X-rated that I couldn't even begin to tap into that conversation to the full extent. But size don't always matter. Let's just make that clear. Size do not always matter. In my 30s, what matters to me is bills being paid in full. That's what matters. Now, I'm not saying come in here with a little Vienna sausage and think that I'm going to be satisfied. I might just turn into a Jada. I might. But although I've never been the type to turn into a Jada, if I ever cheated on a guy, I never cheated on a guy. It has always been on a break type status, but I never cheated on no guy. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go in with one of these lighter shades, with one of these lighter tones. And this is just a light blend. It's not as bright as this one here. It's a lighter tone. Anyway, so here's my theory. Lately, I've been running into, well, let's make this clear. I've always been the type to love a man that's very blessed, more so. That's my shit. That's my style. I can rock with it, right? And this is me just blending out that harsh chalk line almost look. But anyway, so yeah, that's always been my style. But I haven't been messing around in a while. I've been on my grind. But my last little boot thing, child, he did his thing. Like, he ain't have a huge eggplant, but he had a mean tickler. Yeah, bitch. And I'm gonna allow that to sink the fuck in. He didn't mind taking his time. Like, he was down there so long, I forgot what the motherfucker looked like. So looks don't matter no more. Size don't matter no more. I gotta take it back to when Lunel said, bitches don't like when niggas do this, up and down. They don't like when niggas do that. But that right there, that on the top, that la 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 la, insane. So no, size don't matter. Size don't matter. That nigga had a mean motherfucking tickler. He ain't had no carpal tunnel. Risk was on 1,000. He had that tickler going like he was better than a fucking rose. Okay? Yeah, that part. So, does size matter? No. And it then stopped mattering for a very long time. Now, I'm not telling you come in here And you expecting me to just make all kinds of provisions around what you got going on. But I'm not saying that I'm about to like cut ties with you. Let me see how you work around it. And I think a lot of men do very well with working around it. Also, what I'm no longer all the way attracted to is the alpha male. I think the alpha male has went out of style back during the school days. Am I fucking lying? Like literally the Spike Lee movie School Days. Like that alpha male was such a fucking jerk. I couldn't see myself doing this shit. Like, he was such an asshole. And he was so ready to just give his girl away, like, to some bullshit that he just wasn't really standing up for nothing. So, yeah, no. An alpha male with a big old thing has not done it for me in a while. And I wound up actually cutting ties with one of my favorite, you know, big D players because I was over the arrogance. I was over the whole nonchalant shit. I was over all that bullshit. You couldn't ruffle him. You couldn't rattle him. You couldn't shake him. Like, you know what I mean? It was constantly like, this nigga is really one-dimensional. So I like the finesse. I like the one that's like, they do like to talk a little bit, you know. The one that his thing might not be that big, but that tickler mean as shit. Like, The next question is, how do I feel about Draya announcing all of her surgeries? Clearly I'm a woman that has not had many surgeries, especially when it comes to enhancing my body. I'm trying to figure out, why do people want to know? Because I don't think she openly just said, oh, let me just sit there and talk about this shit today. I think the question is constantly asked, why not just, you know, stop the noise? And I think that that's what it was for her. I think she said, you know, let's just stop this noise real quick because it's too fucking loud. Like, you know what I mean? They constantly asking me all these questions. But I'm like, why when it comes to beauty, everybody wants to say, oh, how many surgeries have you had, when it's women that's highly lusted after? You know, they doing that right now to Ari. So I'm just like, that's just a jealous question. You know, I don't care who's asking it or who's inquiring. What does it matter? It ain't gonna change anything. Even if she was sitting there natural, she's still gonna be that girl, because at the end of the day, she has that charisma. She has that air to her. Like, she's not gonna sit in a room and be considered basic for nobody. So do I think it's a thing that she asked? Do I think it's a thing that she told all her surgeries? No. Girl, tell it. Tell it to everybody. Let us know. Let us know what's tea. Me, myself, I have never desired to have much done. I always wanted to have bigger and fuller lips. But once I've learned how beautiful my natural arch in my lips is, and you'll see it once, you know, we get it get everything popping. Once I've learned that, girl, I'm lit. I really wasn't worried about much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, divas and gents. So at this point, I had to speed up the video just a little bit because we were tipping into an hour. And I felt like we didn't need an hour for an entire, little makeup Q&A type of video. So at the end of the day, I did start to speed through everything, and I put on some lashes from MTD Lash Party. Yes, you can find these on my website. They have the cutest little butterflies on them. So fun, so youthful. Please tap in, please. I have a plethora on hand, in stock. Yes. But also, I did put on a little eyeliner. I also put on a little shimmer by Taraji P. Henson. I played with my NYX shimmer as well. I went in with a peach blush, and we did an ombre plum lip with this beautiful lavender. It complements the eyes so well. I also did my waterline with like this midnight bluish color. Oh my God. Chef kiss. This whole look was just sexy, fun, and cool, just like myself. So at the end of the day, I really enjoyed this. The questions that I did answer, that I edited out, I will incorporate them in the vlogs to come. So we'll have some juicy conversation. More to come, more to come. So I thank y'all for watching. Please tap like, share, subscribe, and also drop into the comments. I haven't seen you guys in my comments in so long. I get the likes, I get the love, I get all the respect, and you're doing so well. Love the vlogs, but I don't get it in the comments. I want to see it. I want to see the interaction. So I love y'all, and I thank y'all, and until next time.